Hi. So I just wanted to say a few things, and I was thinking about just doing it whatever I felt, because that's usually how I roll, but I think I need to be a little more organized because I'm overcome with emotion today. So first, thank you, every single person, for being here. There were some pretty big efforts to be here. I have a few people, flew in. I have flights that got switched. Someone took a red-eye home. Ellen, I think, took a red-eye home. Beth is postponed her trip until tomorrow to be here. Those things are so important to me, and I'm so appreciative. It's overwhelming for me to have so many people I love in one space. But I also know that this is what fills me up, feeds my soul, and keeps me centered. And this is why I do this. I know you all think you're here to celebrate me, but the truth is, you're here so I can celebrate you. You have all come into my life at different times. Many of you were part of my journey almost 16 years ago, and some of you I've met since then. But every single person in this room has touched my life in some meaningful way. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to celebrate you and tell you how much you mean to me. It's a chance for me to share things I love with the women that I love. The flowers that are on the table that Carol Hudson graciously did for me. And I'd like to micromanage a little bit, and I get involved, and I think I can do everything myself, but she brought to life something that just represents me. I love lilacs, and I love succulents, and every single thing that's here, the branches, represents me. And so those are the kinds of people that I choose to be around. I've always believed in the power of connectivity. I thrive on it. I think we all need it. Human connection, especially female connections. I've talked about this a lot since I had cancer. When I thought about the idea of potentially dying early, I realized what was most important to me were the relationships that I had. And so I focus on that. I talk a lot. I share. I listen and I learn. Whether it's a life experience, a bike ride together, a conversation in the grocery store, it all stays with me and has helped shape me into who I am today. I experience all I can every single day. Most of you know I do not have a good relationship with time. I hate being bound by time. I want the days to be longer, so I fight it. I ignore it. I think I have more time than I do. Perhaps it's because of the cancer, not knowing how much time I have, or perhaps it's because I get caught up in the moments. I do know that time is a gift. I also believe in the power of the team, posse, group, squad, tribe. We all have them. People we rely on for health and well-being, people we share intimate thoughts and fears with, those who inspire us and make us shine. They are there when we are down and celebrate when we are up. We rely on them and trust them with our care. They make us better, inspire us to be better, and make us feel good about who we are. For me, that team 15 years ago was comprised of my doctors, a therapist, family, and girlfriends. Today it has evolved. My team has shifted. I get my energy from my spin instructors like Alex, who's sitting here, and Rainu, who couldn't be here, but she sent me the playlist. Sani, my Reiki lady back there, who some of you have had the pleasure of meeting, and to get me to do Reiki was a challenge. That's not my wheelhouse, let's say. And I remember my first visit with her, and I said, oh my gosh, I have to get organized. I don't know what I want to do next. There's so many things. I like to do this, I like to do that. And she said, you are not all over the place. You just have a lot of passions. You're very passionate. Lots of people can't find their passion. You just have too many. In this situation, I actually don't think the day is long enough for you. You remember that? I am so grateful that every person in this room is part of my team. It's not chance that everyone here is connected in some way, and I've already seen some beautiful connections today. So I had all these great quotes by women I admire. I was planning to hang all around the room, but I also do not have a good relationship with technology. It didn't really work out. And Lisa, my friend, tried to help me. It just didn't work out. But then I realized, as I think Sonny would support this, it was, the universe speaking to me, and I guess I probably didn't need those quotes. Because I don't need the words of others to inspire us, because I have all of you here who inspire me every single day. When I look around and I think about everything that you've all accomplished and achieved, I'm overwhelmed. This is a powerful group of women. There's so much talent and positive energy in this room. I hope you feel it. You all do amazing things. You've started all kinds of businesses, furniture stores, jewelry lines, life coaching, consulting. You take care of sick people. You run major events. You've started nonprofits, schools in Kenya, teaching kids how to be entrepreneurial. The list goes on. You sell houses, share the news, keep us all fit and healthy. A few of you are changing the face of cancer and what it means to live with metastatic disease. I look up to so many of you as mothers. I learn from what you do, how you deal with parenting challenges, and teach your kids to give back to the community. I don't find this at all intimidating. I actually find it exhilarating. It makes me want to be better. Maria Shriver uses the term architect of change. She calls herself an architect of change. Every single person here is an architect of change. In fact, this is not about the cancer as much as it is about a reason to take a moment to celebrate life, friendship, and great, great women. When I was going through my cancer journey, I remember being struck by the power of the cocoon that was around me. I felt it. I can have that feeling now if I think about it. So many people surrounded me with love and support, and it felt safe. In a very scary, overwhelming time, I was surprisingly calm. Truly calm and peaceful because I was forced to live in that moment. It was very clear to me what mattered and how I spent my time. I swore I would always live that way. Sometimes I get off course, and I need to be recentered. I run a little wild. But recently I've been doing a lot of thinking about my next act. And this notion of why it takes a crisis to get us to wake up, slow down, and feel that peace. I've been working on trying to get to that place in my everyday life and figure out a way to help others to do the same. Many people in this room have lived through a tremendous crisis. We've lost spouses, we've had 6 children, we've lost jobs, we've had to relocate, we've dealt with major illness. Most of us come out stronger and with more clarity. How can we harness what we've learned and apply it to everyday life? Ironically, this is true, the universe again. I was listening to a podcast of Katie Couric interviewing Sheryl Sandberg about her new book, Option B. And she was talking about the concept of post-traumatic growth. And I've always known there's a lot to be said for post-traumatic stress. Because when you come out of something like a cancer experience, people don't realize. You have to go back and face the world, and everyone thinks they're fine, and they go back to their life, and this can be applied to many other life situations. Her term of post-traumatic growth is brilliant. It's brilliant. We learn from these experiences, and we grow, and we change. We go through the trauma, and it gives us perspective, a meaning and a focus. I was lucky to have my cancer direct me and give me meaning. I'm trying to figure out how to teach others from what we've learned, from what I've learned, and apply it to how we live every single day without a crisis. I purposely did not do a seating arrangement. I decided that I knew there were so many great women here that you would organically find who you would sit with. I'm hoping that you've met someone or will meet someone who tells you something great about themselves, and you will see why I think this person is great. I'm hoping you will take a little bit of the energy in this room with you today. You see, I've put a healing stone in front of your plates and an angel. I've always trusted my angels, and I share them with all of you today. I also trust the universe will send you the word or message that speaks to you. Evidently, according to my sister, my brother-in-law referred to me as Carie Winfrey early this morning. So you're not getting diamond earrings, but it's true. But I did make my peppermint patties, which I've made for you all. And I have my favorite chocolates are Munson's chocolate, and that's our dog is named after Munson, and they're on the tables, and there's also boxes of these. There are a few people here that I do want to point out, and it doesn't take away from any single person, because I could stand up here for 5 hours and go through every single one of you and how you've touched my life and why I think you're fabulous. My oldest and closest childhood friend, Suze, raise your hand, is sitting here, and I've known her since I was 6 years old. And sitting next to her is my other very best friend from high school, Lisa, who flew in from South Carolina yesterday to be with me. And she's gone through some life experiences that we've navigated together, and I think it's brought us closer. And then there's my roommate, Annie, in the blue, who is my roommate from college and my soulmate, who I don't know what I would do without. And we keep talking about that book we're going to write, because we think we've pretty much hit every traumatic thing that could go on in anyone's life, but we still have time. And my sister, Paige, who's sitting over there. I can do it. So Paige, most of you know, I think all of you know, that Paige moved in with us when I was sick. She took care of my kids, and she raised them like I would. And today they have beautiful relationships, and my kids confide in her. She has children, and she has younger children, and I always wanted to have more children. And I decided not to because of my cancer. And her children are like my children. And so the beautiful gift of Paige and I is that we get to share each other's children. And we pretty much co-parent at this point. And can you take that? Can you handle that? Can you call her? Can you be? And it works. And I'm so grateful. She was on a 6 a.m. train this morning. She took the train to get here today. And I know she wouldn't miss it. My mom. So there she is. My mom is the single strongest woman I know. I want you all to introduce yourself to my mom, and I mean it. I'm not kidding about this. Okay, one, because she has a memory of an elephant, and if she reminds me of things I forget all the time, but she pays attention to detail, and she knows people, she knows everything. She has taught me so much about being a strong woman, a good mother. I used to get upset because I thought she was the only mother who wasn't focused on me getting married when we were younger. And it was never a conversation of, who are you dating? What are you doing? I was like, Mom, wait, okay, don't you? And what I realized, she wanted to know I had choices. She wanted to know that I needed to figure out who I was and to be able to make my own mark. It's not that she didn't want me to get married or be with someone who loved me if I chose it. It was that she knew that I was valuable, just myself. When there's a challenging situation with one of the kids, it's usually my husband who says, call your mom, she knows what to do. And I do, and that is the God's honest truth. So thank you all for being here. It is so important to me that you have taken time out of your lives and your schedules and everything to be here and celebrate this. And I just truly celebrate each and every one of you. And I would hope that you would leave here today, and again, I'm going to steal from Cheryl, Sandberg, I thought she said this really nicely in her interview. I hope that everyone leaves here today living a little bit more than you were than when you walked in the door today. So thank you.
That was beautiful.